I got everybody's been talking about this whole Kendra G and Cam Newton interview, and I saw everybody else was talking about it, and I said to myself, well, guess it's time for my turn. So here we go.
How do you address the rumors that Shade Moisture Silk Press in a bottle works harder to straighten your hair than you do?
Oh, that's not a rumor. And it even works harder to keep my hair straight in humid weather, sweetie.
What does being married have to do with hosting a single show?
In a relationship.
A married person will be more qualified, Kendra, than you. And to be honest, I would rather listen to a married person talk about relationships than you, who is highly unqualified.
Okay, so I've been in relationships. I'm single right now, but what does that have to do with hosting a single
Has
show?
nothing to do with it.
Then why do we keep bringing up married and?
No.
Okay.
The conversation
Yes.
question was asked, why should people listen to you?
Yeah, why should people listen to you? Why?
Yo, what's good? When it was popping? What it is, what it ain't.
Let me put
What
this
it
in
could be, what it should
1.5.
be, what it would be. Cam Newton, son, Mr. Boogie Doll, here with another episode of fucking Friday. And I promise, I really do promise to give good content for the masses. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, little children, dogs and cats, I just promise to always keep it funky. Woo! The question was posed in our prep. She said, do you want to go viral? Or I want to go viral. I said, shoot, say less. Let's go viral. My next guest is a veteran in the media game, veteran media personality, a black woman in tech, a relationship glue maker, matchmaker, whatever you want to call it, a social media matchmaker. I don't know whether we call it Cupid or Cupidette or something. I present to some and introduce to others. Miss Kendra G.
Thank you. It's Cupid with a K. But now I'm rich because I'm next to you. My credit score just went up. Ooh.
Oh, it did. Your credit score done went down.
You know that cash in the credit ain't good.
No. I ain't got it. I ain't got it.
What's going on, Big Kim?
I don't know. I don't know where we should start.
Ooh.
In this particular month of March, it
Yes.
is Women History Month.
It is.
And I just want to let you know,
Yes.
not in the words of Tupac, but in my words, you are appreciated.
Thank you.
But let me ask you this. As I'm so intrigued about this conversation, and I've had my fair share of specialists, doctors, experts.
I don't claim to be any of that.
Yeah, but I think my question is, why should somebody listen to you?
Oh, because I have the data to support anything that I say.
Okay.
You know what?
And let me stop it right here. Kendra didn't care about the data until she had no choice to acknowledge the data 4 years into her show. She didn't start to announcing the data until Kevin Samuels died. She acknowledged it, but she really didn't go along with it up until her breakup with with who I call King, who I call Ashy Foot, the African dude that she was messing with. She didn't acknowledge the data until he up and left her. And now she's miserable, old, and alone. Let's continue.
Well, I know some people just learned of me from my single show that I started 6 years ago. But like I said, I'm a 25-year plus television and radio journalist. Before
We don't
interviewing
care.
single people, I used to interview celebrities, for a living.
Whoop-de-doo.
There's things that I know now that I did not know 6 years ago. I wouldn't even spoke on it. I always knew, kind of like you, kind of like most people. We know our reality, right? So I literally have done a case study. I have talked to more than 16,000 single people. I have 4 weddings this year, all because of my platform. One in Paris, one in Antigua, one in the Bahamas, and then there's one local.
So you say you went through 16,000 people and you only have 2 marriages out of it. Your show sounds like a failure. 16,000 people you had on your show and only 2 marriages over the last 6 years. Kendra, that's failure, darling. That is failure. Good morning, Go Cricket. Good morning, good morning. That is failure. If you do the math, that's failure. And even though Cam really isn't the messenger for that question, Cam kind of does have a point. Why should people listen to you? You really have no success. Your show is basic, being ran by basic. That's all your show is. Your whole show is basic.
in Paris, one in Antigua, one in the Bahamas, and then there's one local in America. But overall, more than 20 people have gotten married from my platform. I haven't given birth to a baby, but there's children on this planet.
Okay, I thought it was two people that got married. Now she's claiming it's 20. 20 people getting married out of 16,000. The math still sounds bad. The math is bad as hell, Kendra. 16,000, and you saying 20 people got married. Your success rate is like 0.0000001%. Most people who have dating apps usually at least pull in a double digit success rate. You're barely pulling a 5% success rate, which tells me you're pitiful, you're piss poor, you need to let this go. Okay, let me quit talking and get back into this interview.
To a baby, but there's children on this planet because of the platform. But I want to reset and give that to God because I don't want to act like I'm the big person doing it.
Yeah, there are kids on this planet because of your platform, but here's the context. Your platform ain't nothing but Pookies and Ray Rays that come to prey on the women and the scammers. Whether you like it or not, your show, Kendra, ain't nothing more than a ghetto ass version of Jerry Springer. That's what your show is. Don't nobody take your show seriously. And tell you the truth, Ashley Dalton has a more serious show than you do. Your show is a joke at best.
God because I don't want to act like I'm the big person doing it. I really do feel as though God used me as a vessel for this mission. So anything I say, it's supported with data. It's supported with doing research. A lot of times when people read numbers, they read statistics. Well, I'm the one that collects.
Again, you didn't start caring about the numbers until you start going after male podcasters. Then you start caring about the numbers because it was fucking up your bottom line. Again, that is on you. And if you would humble your damn self, you would find out that the male podcasters are your biggest help. But with you being such a misandrist, such a feminist and a misandrist, you can't get your head out of your own asshole.
The information so you can have the statistic.
So that's why somebody should listen to you.
Well, how about this? You don't have to listen. So I understand what you're saying. If you don't have to take what I say, because at the end of the
And here she comes with that passive aggressiveness. Every time somebody asks her a hard question or gives criticism, she goes straight to passive aggressiveness. Grow the hell up.
hey, it's your life, so you can do what you want with it. But if I'm gonna join the conversation, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think we're in a space in content that everybody has something to say about something.
Okay.
And sometimes that conversation subject is relationships. I think the question or the head scratcher sometimes is,
Facts, Creek.
what gives you
I
the
watch
right
it. I
to
watch
bring
Ashley
people
before
together?
Kendra.
Are you married?
Facts.
I'm not married.
Have you ever been married?
No, I haven't.
Have you been engaged?
I have been engaged. But before you go any
Oh, what did Kevin Samuels say about engagement queens? Every time I think about engagement queens, the only thing I think about is Stephen A. Smith. We don't care. We don't care. You being engaged really don't mean jack shit. I'm just saying.
further, what's the name of my show? It's called Kendra G Singles.
Yeah.
It's not called Kendra G Married. It's not called Kendra G Relationship.
And Kendra is missing the point. Most people that date so they can have something long term. What's the point of your show? What's the point of your show, Kendra, if you don't care about people getting married? I mean, well, we already know that you're kind of doing this just for the money. We already know that. Even though you started this show to SHIT on KS, but that's a different live stream. We know that you're doing this for the money. Tell the truth and shame the devil. But you at least could have faked like you gave a damn.
How I even got birth is because I'm single. I was in a relationship during COVID. We broke up during COVID. The
Aww.
world is shut down. Because single life outside is popping, right? But single life during COVID, when you break up, you had nothing. I felt like I was Will Smith and I Am Legend. If we go back to that time, D Nice was connecting us all via Instagram Live with music. So literally, I'm like, if I feel this way single, I know other people around the world probably feel this way single. So then I went on IG Live and I said, listen, I'm hooking up single people tonight. And that one night, I knew I changed my life forever. Because I came from media. For one, it was regular people. You know, we see people in the comment sections. I seen their houses. They call in, right? And I'm media trained, so it doesn't seem like there's an art to it, but there's an art to it. So if everybody could do it, they would. So the purpose of the show is to
You're full of shit. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm a man. And I know I can put on a better show than you. Cree, if you're still here, you can put on a better show than Kendra. Your show has no talent. Like I said earlier, your show is basic and remedial at best. And I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. Any jackass could do your show. Anybody could.
live dating show. So how it works is, let's just say Cam Newton was single. You call in, I'll ask you the questions, the world watching, then they reach out to you.
And here's the thing: all these years later, and you still need a cue card to ask your own damn questions. Pitiful.
As they reach out to you, you have several. Well, now we have the Kendra G Singles dating app. We grew from Instagram to Facebook to YouTube, and now we have a bona fide dating app. So you call into the dating app, they see you live, and then they reach out to you. So instead of you just going off of a picture, now you actually go off of a video.
So, dating is to stay single or to get?
No, I think dating.
And here's something else I want to say too. I know she ain't got to it yet, but Kendra want to sit here and talk that her show gets views, this, that, and the third. Yeah, your show does get views, but here's the thing that I've been seeing lately: when MTR used to review Kendra G clips. He would sit and review the clips, and on average, he would average 25 25K more on his clips than Kendra would on her own damn clips, which tells me when the review channels get more views than you, Kendra, your show, once again, is basic and remedial at best. And not only that, when MABW used to review your clips, his views half the time would equal yours, and sometimes would be better than yours. And MABW has way less subscribers than you, which tells me again you're basic and remedial. Let's get back into this.
Is to stay single or to get
No,
married?
I think dating. I think life is a journey, right? So you're not married. You've been very vocal about not wanting to get married, but you're in a relationship, right? There's some people. There's different dynamics, right? So you can be single, but single is becoming a lifestyle choice for some. We are in a new phase where people are saying, you know what, I'm happy single, and that's what it is. And dating works better for them. So when you date, that's the whole purpose of
I wish y'all could see Cam's face. The the look on Cam's face is like whatever be. I wish y'all could look at Cam's face, man. Cam's face is just like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about?
dating. You find someone that you might match with and you might stay long with, or you grow from and you go. The problem right now is we are not acknowledging how much our world has changed. See, we used to go by these old dating rules where there was a time when women couldn't even get jobs, couldn't get bank accounts. You know, all men could get a woman because it was survival. We didn't have a choice. So it's not like Rufus wasn't down the street with Bernadine. It's just Bernadine didn't have a Facebook page to post the dinner that she made for Rufus. So you know your man might have been somewhere, but it wasn't in your face. It was a different time. That time has changed because women now we're able to have voices, we're able to have jobs, we're able to support ourselves. So dating has changed.
And the first thing she did was spout out every black feminist talking point.
Women are doing well in the financial category. So when you have all those things in the mix, also with social media, that's really the game changer because you could be in Atlanta and like your wife could be in Texas. That's literally what happened for my show. The first year, and literally like the first week, I had a guy that came on. He was living in Charlotte. Again, it's international, worldwide. There was a girl living in Miami that saw him on the show. He came on my show May 2nd. They got married the following year, May 2nd. They now have 2 kids together. And everyone that's met from my show, they would tell you if it wasn't for this platform, we would have never met because it launches you out to the world. It's one thing for you to see people in your face, but now you have a show to see people from anywhere around the world.
How do you address the rumors that Shea Moisture Silk Press in a Bottle works harder to straighten your hair than you do?
Oh, that's not a rumor. And it even works harder to keep my hair straight in humid weather, sweetie.
So what qualifies you if you're single? You've never been married.
Right.
You've never, you said you was engaged.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, you said that's why I have a show called Kendra G Singles.
Right.
It's to talk to singles. But I said the ultimate goal for that is, in essence, to matchmake or to put them on a platform that then will have somebody reach out to them. Which goes back to the overarching thing is if you're having all this insight, 16,000 singles that you've spoken to,
Yes.
Over a
6 years since COVID. It's
over a
2026.
6-year span.
Yes.
When I have spoken to experts, doctors, people who are in this field, that's my question. Are we talking about experience that you've actually been through, or is this something that you've observed and said, hey, I talked to this person is married, so I can gain all the information from that married couple, from this divorced couple, from that divorced couple, and this gives me the right to talk about that. I may not have been married, I may not have been divorced, I may not have had a fiance, but I've
That's
talked
right. Okay, can I jump in? Not to cut you off. What does being married have to do with hosting a single show?
in a relationship.
Okay, so I've been in a relationship.
She still don't get it. If she was married, she would be more qualified to talk. Not to. She really don't talk, but her show would be taken more seriously if she was a married woman.
I'm single right now, but what does that have to do with hosting a
It
single
has
show?
nothing to do with it.
Then why do we keep bringing up married and
No,
And why is she acting like she's being attacked? He's just asking a straight question. Why should people take you seriously? And she's acting all offended and shit.
okay?
the conversation
Yes.
question was asked, why should people listen to you? Everyone builds a reputation. You can be the person that shows up or the person that talks big. What kind of reputation do you try to have? Your reputation is built off what you deliver. Rose Sparks is for men that need help getting hard. So they can show up strong when it matters. Working fast and showing up when it matters in the bedroom. Guys, see if prescription Rose Sparks is right for you at ro.co/funky. Sparks is a compounded drug product. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and does not go under FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. So, choose Ro today so you can show up strong.
I would say this: you have the free will. You don't have to listen to me, right? I'm not the kind of person that says you have to live by what I say, but I can back up anything I say. So you could not tune into the show, and you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have the people should listen. They have to listen. What I'm saying is I can give you information that I know is vitable.
So since we're on Funky Friday,
Yes.
I'm going to flip the script.
Yes.
Here's the question.
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Do you want children?
If I align with the right person and it makes sense. I'm like most girls. You
Hold
grow up with
on.
Cinderella.
Hold on. Cam. You're talking to a 47-year-old woman. That ship has sailed 17 years ago. That ship for her has sailed 17 years ago. The woman's 47. That ship is sailed. It's done. It's over. She has no chance of ever being a mother. No chance. Let's get back into this.
I'm like most girls. You grow up with Cinderella story, right? And it's like, oh, I'm gonna be Prince Charming, and we're gonna have children. I never wanted to have children during my radio career because the thing with radio, it's very unpredictable. Like I got fired. Like every 4 years, I'm moving to a different city. And I remember I had an amazing job in Philly, and then I ended up moving to Atlanta, where I actually met you. I hosted your, Lakeview retired night for Cam Newton night.
Westlake.
Yes, Westlake. Westlake. I was working at V103 at the time. But before I ended up getting promoted to the morning show, I was part time. I had to, even though I was big time in Philly, I had to work my grounds in Atlanta. And I was staying with a friend, and I remember I stayed in this like extra bedroom, and I had an air mattress. And I remember laying down, and I was like, if I was a mother, I would be out of this career because I would not be able to make that decision because I would have to make, I feel as though if I bring a child in this world, everything is second. The child's first. I made that decision. And if my dreams, if they can't align still, but I have to feed that human and nothing's going to trump that. So I didn't want to set myself up in that dynamic unless it made sense. And I feel as though, to me, a woman having a child is more of a commitment for her than marriage. Because if you're a good mom, you're going to want your child to be around the father. So you're directly creating a life with a person who may or may not become your husband. So for me personally, I will only have children if it aligns. I'm older. I froze my eggs. I 1,000% support all women. I would say it 1,000 times. We're in a different space. Women are working. They're waiting longer to settle down with a particular person. This will give you the opportunity, if you want to become a mom one day, by freezing your eggs. Because it is true. There is a clock, right? And if you don't freeze your eggs, you do got to, make that decision at a certain period just because of biology. But freezing your eggs gives you a chance to say, you know what, this wasn't the right choice for me. This isn't the right guy. But if I don't meet the right guy and I never become a mom in that way, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm cool.
Can he have children?
Angel Silk Press is so sleek on these 2-week vacations.
No comment. But I did use Shea Moisture Silk Press in a bottle, so my hair was protected from the humidity.
So here's the deal on that. I don't mind 1, maybe 2. I don't think I could do past 2. But because I'll take that way. If he was a married man, I'm 46 now, right? So if he's married, he came from a woman, they had 3 children, something happened. Like, I'm not gonna be pinholed to that. I can't date a man with 9 kids. I'm out.
Have you ever been approached by a guy
I've been approached. Let me tell you
that has
something.
9 kids?
I've been approached by a man that had 4 kids. I've been approached by a man that had 7 kids. I had approached by a man that had 8 kids.
I'm
First
still
and last
here,
dates.
y'all. Hold on.
First and last date. I can't do it. And I'm not mad at anybody that can, but I'm not, that's a lot of energy you have to take in, because here's how I do feel. If I'm taking you, I'm taking all of you. So it's not just about the 9 children, it's about the mothers of the children. They might have a cousin, and now, he was over Kendra G house. And it's a lot that comes, because I do feel as though if you sign up with a person, you sign up for that person. So what they come with is what you come with.
I do think you're projecting a little bit.
Projected in what way?
It's that the example that you gave was that ain't my mama.
That the kids say?
Yeah, like one of them kids ain't gonna like me.
You think that all 9 kids are gonna like your new girlfriend?
Well, as an adult, there's certain things that you instill in your children as respect.
Yeah, but you can't control your children.
Who can?
The children is a human. They have the right to be themselves. So
Under my house,
Under
you have
your-
to understand.
So you think for them?
Parents, yes, you have to.
you can have so this is what I feel as though is this. You can teach your children respect, but their emotions belong to them.
Yeah. And this is why, this is going back to the first question.
Okay.
It's like, you're telling me how children are supposed to be raised, and you don't have children.
But I was raised as a child. What does that mean?
No, I understand that, respectfully.
Mhm.
This is where I check out.
Well,
and
real
say-
quick, I'm not telling you how to raise children.
Yeah, but we're having a conversation about, so your children don't think on their own. I'm telling you, hell no, they don't. Not while they're in my house. Because if it's up to my kids, they're eating Skittles every night. They're eating gummy bears every night. And certain things is to say, like, no, we're not going to do that. You're going to eat this because it's nurturing to your body. And that's a food example. But you're saying that you want to stay up and play video games all day. But we have to work on your literacy. You may not want to read your book. You may not want to go to tutoring. You may not want to go to school. But hey, yes, I'm thinking for you. I'm telling you that, no, I'm not negotiating with you. You're not staying in this bed, sweetheart. You're not staying in this bed. So I'm thinking for you because I'm 36. You're 6. I'm 36. You're 8. I'm 36. You're 20.
So let me say, I agree with all that. So we were talking about your children's emotion with a new romantic interest. That's what I'm talking about. So you're right, I don't have kids. But when I was a kid, there's a moment my parents were not together. No matter who my dad had, she wasn't my mama. No matter who my mother had, he wasn't my dad. So yes, I have to be respectful, but don't get it twisted. I'm team my parent no matter who y'all dating. And that could have been, and here's the deal, and maybe that wasn't right, but that's just how I was as a child. So everything you just said was, things you should do as a parent. But we're talking about a different emotion. I'm talking about a child having to resonate, and I'll use me, Kendra G, as a child. I will be a respectful dad to anybody you date, but she's not my mother. And I'm always going to ride and love my mother more. And that's what happens. So I hear what you're saying, but I can't speak from that.
Yeah, but what I would say,
Yes.
off of experience,
Yes.
is that when Jazz came into my life, and I have the ability to, my son is here,
Hi, son.
right? Jaden. And I'm not going to make this awkward, but she never wanted to be his mother. She wanted to be a mother figure in his life as an extra, as a bonus person, right? But there never was a time to say, hey, call me mommy or I'm your mom. She had too much respect for Lorena. Jazz has too much respect for Kia and vice versa. So when you're starting to bring in other individuals, it's up to the adults to navigate that situation and work together. And that's where I've learned to say, hey, I'm dating somebody, Kia. I'm dating somebody, Lorena. And I'm thinking about introducing them to the children. So, yes, a lot of people may look at me and say, like, oh, it's giving too much, it's giving, never could, never would. But there are certain principles and bylaws that I do value, and it's respect for other people's emotions. Now, if they give me the green light to say, yes, it's okay. Matter of fact, can I speak to her just so we can get on the same page, because I need to let them know or let her know you're not the kid's mother. Will never be. And when you have those kind of direct conversations, what will come from it is it will take a village, right? And understanding that we may not have worked, but we will always work together.
Right.
And as adults, that's what you learn. So when day one had, hey, I'm Jazz, you can call me Miss Jazz. And those relationships kind of grow and build, and you have respect in the presence and without being in the presence of the other parent. You say, hey, I'm not your mom, but you can use me as a resource, as a mother figure in your life. That may be verbally expressed, directly or indirectly. You just keep showing up. It's like, hey, if it comes to a time where I have to take you to tennis practice, if I have to take you to football practice, we're around each other so much, and I'm not his biological dad. He didn't come from me. But the fact that we've been around each other and there's things that I have to tell him, is like, son, I'm here for you, bro. And I'm here on the premise to let you know I'm not trying to control your emotions. I want you to be emotionally aware, but able as you get to your age of 20. So you got to be a man. So if you're going to come to me, you got to come correct. I'm not going to sit up here and allow you to talk to me any different than I expect you to talk to your mother. It's respect all there. Or your biological dad. I don't have no competition with that. I just keep showing up with a pure heart, knowing that, hey, this is my expectations for you. Tell me your goals so I can hold you accountable to them. Tell me what you want out of life, and I can hold you accountable to that. And if anybody else's experience with having a bonus parent, a step parent, or another parent, I can't speak to that, because I know for my children and the mothers of my children, it's all respect. And it's never been a moment in time where I've allowed my children that has been in my house, biologically or not biologically, to ever utter the words, you're not my mother. Because that will be the day I will remind you, who do you think you are? So, yes, I think for my children. I think my children need me to think for them, because I believe in protection. I believe in provision. I believe in showing up in disciplinary ways that if I don't do it inside my house, I would hate for the world to have their way with my children. So for at least 18 years, I'm going to instill a lot of things in Cam Newton School of Hard Knocks that may be traditional, may be unconventional, but it's my way. I'm giving the principles off of what was taught to me and what was instilled in me, and there's things that I may fall short of. One of them being, I never imagined my life to be what it is today, good and bad, to what other people may think. But at the same time, I can't cry about it. I only can make the most of it and try to instill the best version of myself into my children.
Can I ask some questions? If I ever overstep my boundaries, you could totally tell me not. Do all of your children's moms get along?
Yes.
That's wonderful. I think that's great.
And I don't think I've ever said it publicly.
Yeah.
There's a respect there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I think as long as the intentions are there, that's all anybody ever wanted. And it's like, hey, what's your intentions around these kids? Like that's what everybody's concern was. Like, I don't even label, the help that I have as a nanny because she's been so impactful to my life. The children's godmother has been able to navigate a lot of things where if the mother can't do it, and if I can't do it, and if my assistant or my family members can't do it, she is able to do it. There's a village. And I'm grateful to be able to have the resources to pay for or to compensate for making the most for 9 children. It's a lot, yes, but it's a lot of love too.
I think it's a lot of love, but then you brought it back to that. You have the resources to pay for it. Most people, and we talked about this earlier, they're not going to be in your position in life, right? And I've learned this thinking about it from men. Sometimes when men will say, I don't want to date a woman with children because I don't want to have to deal with his father. And I want to be able to set rules without somebody else's input. And that would be hard to do if I'm not the biological dad. And if I accept your child, I also have to accept this man.
Tell me exactly what
Yes.
you're looking for in a partner.
That's the thing. I'm not looking for a partner. Like, this is the crazy thing. I never in life went out and search find me. I live and the guys just come. I'm you call it Cap. I'm a person I've always been a worker. I enjoy working. I enjoy putting an impact on the world. But I have dated a variety of men and I have learned so much. This is a true story. Many years ago, I would say situationship with an athlete. He had 4 kids. I think he had 4 kids, 3 baby mamas. And, I've always been a monogamous, woman. And I remember we got into it. And he said to me, I can never be with you because you're selfish and you want me all to yourself. And I was like, what kind of gaslight? Like, in that moment, thinking, this is crazy. But as I matured, as feelings definitely are gone, I can sit back and see his point of view. His point of view is, I like you. You rock. But I take care of 3 households. I take care of my mama's household. I got a house that my sisters live in. I can't be dedicated only to you and the manner in which you have. But I like you. So even in this crazy ass busy schedule I have, I would like to spend time with you if you want to spend time with me. What I had to do is say, I respect it. We want different things, and those are the moments where I learned, I think right now, every woman is still living in fantasy land when it comes to marriage. This is why I think I respect marriage. I like marriage. I think there's plenty of married people who I think is amazing. It's a beautiful thing. Most of the married couples I like, though, well, I would say respect. They built together. Those are my favorite relationships. They met young and now they've been through the peaks and the valley and they're living great, but she was there when he was building or he was there when she was building. I think that people get hung up on marriage without thinking about all the things, right? And some people's lifestyles are just not set up to be a husband. Some people's lifestyles may not be set up to be a wife. But if that's what you want, retreat and retract right away. Because this is no offense. When I was dating him, what I had to recognize is the furthest this can go is me becoming baby mama number 4. I can't expect a man who has 3 kids that he did not marry any of them, and now I'm in his face, and I got the magical, like he ain't never seen before, now he gonna put a ring on it. That's just not being smart. Like, he's telling you who he is at the door. And this is please don't be offended. Please don't be offended. But I'm not becoming baby mama number 4 for nobody. Not for Michael Jackson if he was alive. Not a soul.
How do you address the rumors that Shea Moisture Silk Press in a Bottle works harder to straighten your hair than you do?
Oh, that's not a rumor. And it even works harder to keep my hair straight in humid weather, sweetie.
So you're not in a relationship?
In this moment, no.
Are you in a situationship?
No. Absolutely not.
Why you say no?
Because I think situationships are the problem. Because situationships connect you to a person, and I'm a person that, I'm like a monogamous person. I'm a monogamous woman.
So you're celibate?
I haven't had sex. You're right. I have not had sex since my last relationship. Exactly.
Do you care to share the time?
Yes, since about almost 2 years. Is it almost 2 years? We broke up. My last relationship ended in 2024. That is, what's so crazy? I'm more shocked that you're shocked. I'm more shocked that you don't know more women. There's a lot of women that are not just out here having sex.
Okay.
You just don't attract.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, because now I can throw this.
Wait,
iPad.
what year? Yeah, 2020.
I can throw this iPad to Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. I'm sorry, I just heard that commercial. Is it because of you or is it because of them?
Going back, no, I'll go back to the guy that I was just telling you with, because that was a situationship, and it taught me all that I needed to know. Because he an athlete, he all the things. He a young Cam Newton. He got all the things. He a shape. He got the money. He got the attraction.
Hello, Juice
but this is
Brother
going nowhere.
Entertainment.
And I'm always going to want more than he can give me. What I don't like about situationships is you can get connected to a person that can never give you all that you really want. And it's not their fault because that wasn't the agreement, right? But we're human. And usually the situationship only works for the person who genuinely doesn't want the relationship. But it can also skew women because now you have this man that you can sleep with. And let's say he got money too, fly you to Spain and, for your birthday, like all these wonderful things. But that's it. Like he can't show up for you on your mama's birthday, or it's not going to grow to that. And now when a guy comes along that could marry you or wants to be there, but maybe don't got
Come
as much
on,
money.
Jay Walker.
Maybe he's not as exciting. Your taste buds. He can't provide your taste buds because it's like, oh, you want to take me to Applebee's for my birthday? Like I'm used to going to Mexico. I'm used to going to Paris. Like to me, the situationship is dangerous. I think for women who want relationships, it is very fair to say I only have sex if we're in a relationship. Some people say marriage, and that's one component. But I think it's fairer to say no. So it's just me and you. Because also what I learned going back to the guy that taught me this master class, because we weren't in a relationship, I learned something, right? Because he's not my man technically.
So you was a side piece.
I wasn't a side piece because there was no main piece. Like he wasn't.
So he had multiple.
He was. This is what I learned about being single. He was single. So single to men doesn't mean lonely. Doesn't mean that they're not sexually active. It just means that no woman can claim me exclusively. But I'm single. I'm moving around. So he was able to do what he wanted to do. Mari, you don't agree with that? I want to pause before I go to the rest of the sentence. No, go ahead. I want to know what your brain was computing because I saw your eyes go up.
All right.
No, but I want to package this. So.
Educator
I was
can.
going to tell you what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Educator.
Typically, if you're not the main thing, then you're the side piece.
To that.
Thank
I'm speaking
you.
from my
I
experiences,
understand that.
and I'm speaking from the experiences that I.
If you
that I
ain't the
witnessed. So
man,
if I
you're the
ask a
side
question, is
piece.
like,
Right.
were you the side piece? Hell no, I was the side piece. But nobody was the main piece. But any man always has the one that he invites for Thanksgiving. He has the one that he's going to go with that's preferred on trips. Hey, if we are going to a ball and I have a +1, I'm going to bring somebody. Hey, if it's Valentine's Day, hey, that if you weren't that, then it's given. Side.
I could see what you're saying. The reason why I still retract, because, okay, I did spend Valentine's Day. I don't consider myself main piece. I spent time with his mother, still talk to his mother to this day. So I know what you're saying, and I'm not being offended if I felt that it was that.
Okay.
It was, to me, this is why it was so complicated, to be quite honest, because there were a lot of things that we would do that would fall into a relationship category, but it's still not a relationship. And to me, it taught me this. If it's important for me, it taught me that I need to have a clear title so I can check you. Because I can't check you if we don't agree. I can't bring something to you like, yo, so you was talking to so-and-so, or I heard you with so-and-so. That's why I don't like situationships, because it's literally fair game.
So I got two things off of that.
Yes.
Number one, what's more important, the title or the feeling?
More important is the commitment.
No, that wasn't an option.
The title or the feeling.
Yes.
The title, absolutely.
Okay.
But the title will come with the feeling. Why would I have a title if there's no feeling?
No. See, you're trying to compartmentalize.
So you're saying,
like, what's more important? It's the title or the
Right,
feeling. I
right.
can give you an example.
Give me an example.
Okay. So there's a lot of people that may have the title of main, as fiance, as married, as girlfriend.
Right?
But then there's somebody else that has a feeling that's like a situationship that's like, yo, like, hey, whatever. Or you can flip it and say, hey, I have a person that I've known for a long time. We don't even know what to call this, but I feel so strong about our connection that I just don't know or am mature enough or able to verbalize my feelings. But at the same time, we don't have no title.
If that works for them, they should rock out. That wouldn't work for me, because you got to remember, I'm talking about experience, right? So there was no title, there were feelings, there was no hiding. I was doing a lot of things, and that's why you get confused, because wait a minute, I'm not your girl, but I'm doing a lot of girl things, and I have these feelings. So let's retract and not be intimate.
But I would challenge that, and this is
Okay.
like the 1A, this is not the second part, but I would challenge that because any person who has a feeling, it's always respect behind that feeling. It's like, if I really want to see this person, like, I'm going to make it a way for me to see this person. You see what I'm saying? So dare I want to see that person and not give them the respect to say, hey, I don't like this about you. Hey, I don't like that. And yes, you may not have the title, but I do consider it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, can I jump in with that? I think that only works in the person who doesn't want the relationship, and normally that's the man. And this is the reason why.
And this is off the 16,000 that you've observed.
Yes, because out of the 16,000, there's a lot of women that call it, right? It's going to be majority women, because women really want, the Cinderella story. They want the Prince Charming. They want to be married. They want the fluff, right? So what happens when you get sexually intimate and you don't have the title and there's no clear understanding, the woman's feelings come to a man who she's not in a relationship with. And now she's trying to figure out, and sometimes, believe it or not, and you can tell me this from a man, sometimes after sex, men are not as into it.
There's two things that happen after sex.
Okay.
Either you become closer or you get more far away.
Okay.
So you go from pointing finger, middle finger, close. In some situations, or in other situations, you become a pinky and a thumb, and you separate.
But is that on both accords? Because at times I've seen it where the man might detach, but the woman now wants it more. So now, and most women don't want to bust it wide open for different men all the time. So she might even work at it harder just because they had sex, right?
I've seen situations where men have got the draws, And it was like, bro, I ain't heard from her since. There's some cold chicks out here. Not cold as in like a bad thing.
And
I'm
this
like,
is why I hate situationships.
but
Because
my next
go ahead.
question. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but my next question was, let's say you are dating or a man does approach you. Do you feel comfortable with dating him if he makes less money than you?
Yes, I mean a lot of people are gonna make less money than me, Cam. I'm not broke. Cheers.
which is commendable.
Right.
Because I think oftentimes when I hear this is not a man versus woman thing, you have to understand what comes with what you're asking.
Oh no, I know. Let me tell you something. Most men I've ever dated have a lot of money, and it also came with a lot of pain. Like, yeah, there's perks, but I'm not the woman that preaches online, find the man with the bag. I would tell you to figure out how to get the bag for yourself first, because then you can date in a healthy stance. But going back, this is why I was talking about marriage earlier. I can absolutely be with a man that made less than me. I wouldn't marry a man that made less than me though, because that's the business component, and I'm not. You need to have what I have in the bank or more for me to marry. But
So you have a situationship with the person.
no, we could be. Well, aren't you? Are you in a situationship?
No, I'm in a relationship.
Exactly. So why is it marriage or situationship? We could be in a committed relationship. We could be like you and Jazz and just not married.
There's a lot of things people don't know, will not even understand, or will ever get the eyesight or the visual to understand about our relationship.
No, I get that, but you're saying right now. I said I wouldn't marry him, but you said situationship.
Yeah.
No, we could be in a
But
relationship.
I think
We could be in a relationship. Why is that hard?
I think what's hard is you've planked the relationship way before it ever.
Where did I think it?
You said you could never marry a person. You could be with a person.
Yes.
Meaning like you could get in a relationship, y'all can have a good time, do a rendezvous, cool, give you a thrill, whatever. But it's going to plank because you know he's not financially able to do the things that you're able to do. So therefore you're not going to marry him.
No,
Even
that's-
if he won.
That's not the reason. This is the reason. You know, when men sit in this seat, again, in my seat, in a seat of finances, you invested in your own company, you have assets, more men they encourage that man. Don't get married. You got too much to lose. Don't get married. Dates, but don't get married, because if she leaves you, she can get half or whatever your assets. So I'm a woman in that seat, and I'm saying simply the same thing. I have no problem dating. Because we're talking, you asked me about money. So when you talk about money, I have to talk about business, because that's what it is, right? Let me tell you something. Now, shout out to Mary J. Blige, who is the queen of everything. She done all them songs, all them tours around the world, and Kendu got to get some of her. He ain't sang not one song on a boot on stage with Mary J. Blige. As hard as I work, you got me crazy if you think I would marry a man and then he would be up in heaven singing background with Whitney Houston. He would be in Michael Jackson dance classes. He would not be on earth with the money that I created. So I'm not setting myself up in that position, period.
So
What stops you from getting married then?
I'm working on myself.
What part?
Feeling comfortable to be married.
What scares you about marriage?
I've said this time.
I know, because but this is why. But can I say this? This is why I'm surprised, because I'm thinking you would have got me when I said it.
Yeah, but I still have a show to operate off of.
Oh,
There's
okay.
people that may not have ever heard of Cam Newton on the Kendrick Lamar single show.
Oh, go watch all the other interviews, child.
You see what I'm saying? But there may be people that watch Funky Friday that may not know who Kendrick G is, respectfully. So that's why I asked the question, so that my audience can now understand how you think and how you compartmentalize certain things. So it's not to say why I don't believe in marriage or why I don't get married. I'm working on myself. I think I've been able to see relationships in a way that I've learned a lot from, good and bad. I'm the only one in my family that's not married.
Yeah, but you're also very unique from everybody else, too.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And there's things that I look at and say, we are operating as a married couple from what I've seen other couples kind of have. And it may be surface level, but it's giving a serious relationship that I really enjoy. And I think she really enjoys. I got to keep the embarrassment to a minimum these days. And therefore, is she worth it? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And there's things that I feel that I've never felt, but at the same time, there's other things that I'm still fighting by what I felt before. You see what I'm saying? And it's not to question why you can't or your views on certain things. And I'm here. I created this platform. I will say it again. At the minimum, we can agree to disagree. And I know the comments going to be beating down the door saying, girl, get him, get him. Or I don't like, they're not going to agree with you.
Right.
That's what content is. But the whole thing, as you know, as a genius that you are in creating content, the spicy stuff is what gets people to come back. It's like, I love the fact that you get to talk to new people, and we keep using the 16,000. I don't know how we got to it, but just tell me, what's the best thing about your job?
Ooh, learning the fact that we are all very different. And there was one time I had, so I guess it was like 2 years, maybe 3 years ago. So I had a woman who came on the show, and she was like, she had got divorced. I always say, well, why'd you get divorced? And then she said, because he said I wasn't smart enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't attractive enough. And then I instantly felt like, I was like, I'm gonna give you a makeover. So she lived in Mississippi. I was living in Chicago at the time, because I quit my morning show job in Chicago 3 years ago, and now I'm in California primarily with my company. But I was living in Chicago at the time. I was gonna fly you to Chicago. My glam squad, we're gonna make you over to make you feel good. She was 40 years old. So I bought a plane ticket, and then she misses her flight. And I'm like, her flight was at 2 o'clock. Pause, right there. In her 40 years of life, she never been on a plane. Never been on a plane. That's insightful, because You on a plane every day. Like you might go somewhere once a week. Like your lifestyle when a person's watching, there's people who never been on a plane. Like their world is their city, their block, their neighborhood. So when they give insights or thoughts, they're speaking like all of us from our own personal walk. So what my show has allowed me to do is understand other people that I would have never gotten without my show. It's like, oh, okay, I understand now because you're not moving anywhere. So if you want to be with a man, it's only a man in house A or B or C. You're not, those are your only options, right? There's other women who got the world at their Oasis. There's other men who got the world at their Oasis. Also, I know that they say that men don't want to be providers, and I do want to say there are some good, solid guys that call in to my show. But sometimes they might lack height. You know, they'll be a provider, but they own a home in Tennessee. You know, they're gonna come home and we got a regular life. I can't fly you every weekend out, but we're gonna have a regular life. I make a good 70K, and then sometimes the woman is like, I don't want that. It's not as exciting. So my show has taught me so much. That's why earlier when I was saying I feel very confident in talking into this because I know so many different perspectives. And what it really always comes down to is deciding what's important to you. Before my show, I thought only men wanted threesomes. I've had women call in my show saying, we're looking for another girl. I wanted somebody else to add. I was like, so the women are the ones doing this? Like, it opened my mind to that we're very different and you have to find your tribe in dating. But also
Like
be
I said,
responsible for
Jerry
your choices.
Springer.
Now I would personalize this. I know there's so much conversation at times when it comes to your girl I met her before. She's absolutely beautiful. I see why you like her. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's funny. Like, she's all the things most men would want in a woman, right? I don't think she should leave you. I think if y'all two are happy, when I hear you talk about her, I like the way you talk about her. So, and now you guys have 2 children together. And I also know, because I own the data, 75% of the women that are telling her to leave you would be in her bed.
Pause. Again, Kendra, you only care about the data because you had no choice but to care about it.
The next day if they could. While she's packing, they would move in. Now, I'm not a part of that because I know me, right? But I could sit and look and say, if it works for you, I like it, I love it. But that wouldn't work for me. So then I focus on something else. And I think that's the space that I want to try to translate to get us to. Also, you know, I'm very team women. I love women, but at times it's very difficult to maybe give harsh truth. You know, I'll have women and they will speak with their chest. This is what I deserve. This is what I want. You got to come in the door like this. Oh, you got to be fine. Like all these things. And if a guy says, well, I want a girl that weighs a certain amount. Why'd you worried about character? Girlfriend, you ain't worried about character. Before we get to character, he gotta.
Now, notice that Kendra G is inadvertently talking about herself. Pay attention.
He got to meet all these aesthetics. And what I know is there's perks, but there's also pain. And the question is, which one weighs more? That's an individual conversation. Like something might be toxic for me, might not be toxic for somebody else. And also, I also don't know what God is doing through those humans. You know, there's so many things. I remember when I was going through relationships and I was like, God, like what? But I can look back in hindsight and see how I became a better human for it, right? And I think earlier, we touched on this earlier, but I want to definitely make sure I say this again. Preference and value are different. Your worth, I don't care if you're overweight, 5 kids, 5 men, toothless, you're still worthy. Like you lose no value. If I have a $50,000 Chanel purse and I throw it over a river, I just lost $50,000. But if I throw a woman with 4 kids by 4 men, you know, and overweight over the purse, I'm going to jail because she still has value. She's a human being. And if we could translate value and preference, we could probably end this emotional war that is going on.
If I could pick just one product for my silk press, it's Shea Moisture Silk Press in a bottle. I apply a few pumps to freshly washed and detangled hair before blow drying. It's lightweight, protects up to 410 degrees, and it keeps frizz and humidity under control. This has to be my best at-home silk press yet.
No, that was a lot. What's the worst thing about your job?
Not being able to always tell the truth. Not being able.
Kendra.
No, it's
not you not keeping it a buck.
Well, sometimes because you have to understand this. I'm not a mean-spirited person, right? Okay. And you don't want to hurt people's feelings. There was a second ago, prime example, you had a thought that you never shared, and you said, I've learned, I'm not going to say, because it probably was something that you would have thought I'd have been offended by.
Let's just say I've learned, and I'm constantly learning. In my position, I take the full acceptance of me being human.
Right.
And personally, professionally, I have been able to be exposed that I'm not the best version of myself that I have expected myself to be at. Mm-hmm. And I teased, with my team before and said, listen, what you may expect from Cam, I ain't never outside or somebody ain't never caught me. I've always gotten in trouble because of what I said. Therefore, it has gotten to a point where I have to monitor what I say, because it's not to say that I'm not keeping it a buck, because I'm always keeping it a buck. It's just that my buck may be too heavy for somebody to carry. So do you understand exactly what I just said then when I said sometimes I can't tell the truth? And although I feel like at times the truth can be helpful because it can then cause change, but
everything you just said is the reason why at times I won't do it, because it takes, first of all, we have the dating app now. So on the dating app, you can stay within the app. But if you're on social media, it's social media. So you're already in a vulnerable space looking for love. It takes a lot of courage to call in. The comment section go and get you. You know, the comment section go and get you. So now do I really want to add on? And at times I have done it though. I have at times said to a woman in particular, I remember one time, she was the sweetest soul. Like she was like, and I just knew that, I was like, if she just loses some weight, she's going to have more options.
Why wouldn't you be able to verbalize that?
Baby, telling a woman to lose weight is very difficult. It's a very emotional thing for a lot of women.
Well, there was a clip that I saw that the gentleman went crazy.
Yes.
The 27-year-old.
29-year-old.
Was he from Chicago, Michigan?
He was in Detroit.
Detroit.
Yes.
Detroit.
Went off.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, bro, that's pretty heavy. But I see where he came from, but I also see where you came from.
Yes.
And it was just like, okay, the intentions behind you coming on the platform of Kendra G Singles was not fulfilled there. Like, it was just a war of words, and it was just like some disrespectful, a lot disrespectful.
A lot disrespectful.
And that was something that kind of deterred, you know, the people from the whole intent of Kendra G Singles. Now it's like, that did go viral though.
Oh, that's the most viral video ever. And also, I put everything out. There's no video you've ever seen that I didn't put out. Everything happens live. Mm-hmm. So after the live, it's over, right? If I don't repurpose it, no one sees it. I knew it would go viral. I am so, this is why I wanted you to say what you want to say earlier. I am so confident in who I am. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm fine with that. I'm not trying to be. So I obviously initiated it because I mean, he didn't look 29, but if I initiated it, he got a right to get one on, right? And that's how I felt. Like, but I'm very unique. You know, not every woman is as strong as me. Some women take it, you got to know it's almost like telling a human Santa Claus is not real. Like, how do I tell a grown woman Santa Claus is not real? How do I tell her that potentially a 6 foot, 100K man who loves God, only wants to be with you, is going to show up at your door tomorrow? It's a very tender walk, because what she hears when I say that is she's not worthy, you know, and that's not the case, girlfriend. If he never comes, you worthy. Like, you don't need a man's validation to determine your worth. Live, you know, I don't want to get too deep, but it's the truth. Like, I saw my mother die. My mother had breast cancer. So me and my sisters were around her when she took her last breath. I literally saw a soul leave a body. We are souls right now in human form. One day, we're not going to be in human form. So I wake up every day excited just because I'm alive. And I'm going to make the most of every day. And I don't want people, you know, to be depressed, because I get people, like, I can see it in their eyes. Unless this person comes, like, where's my person? Get the mirror. You're the person you've been looking for. You are the person. You're the only person that God has guaranteed that you will have. Everybody in your life will always be supporting cast. Enjoy the time spent with every human being, because it's not forever. So I try to operate in the blessing of whatever it is in that season, right? And when I have people call in, although it is a single show first, it's so many more things, right? And like I said, there's a moment when I gave the girl a makeover. There's times when people have hard times and everyone is sending them money. It's really its own community. You call yourself the cousin. My followings are called the cousins. But I just want people to wake up, to be reminded, whether you're single or not, do not wait to be happy until Prince Charming shows up or to the perfect woman shows up. Be happy right now.
I think it was needed for you to say that, but it's also needed for me to say this. I have to be better. And, like, I'm on a pursuit of taking accountability for what I say. And everything that I have said has came back to my mentor to say, dang, bro, like, yeah, I can see how you can feel that way. Mm-hmm. So taking this conversation, it wasn't for me to match your energy or to say, like, oh, no, say it. It's like, no. I'm trying to change. Mm-hmm. And a moment in time, we do what we do just to make sure that, hey, viewership, impact, revenue. But while I'm coming off of a wave of, like, bro, the women hate you, Cam, the mature me says, I can see why. And it's not for me to always have a response to a question or a statement. Sometimes you have to be able to take yourself out of your ego and to say, dang, I hate that I made you feel that way. I don't have a comeback for that. And, like, I can't look at life through a woman's eyes, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't women on this earth that was sacrificing for a better world for me. And through that, I've been able to say, hey, bro, your words matter. Like, you may think you're trying to go viral. You may think you're being funny, but it's not funny. It's something that, like, people are being impacted because you have so much power with your platform, with your voice, and people care what you say, even though you may not take yourself serious. Somebody else does take yourself serious. So thank you, for kind of saying that.
You know, a lot of women don't feel appreciated, though, by you, Cam. One of the viral things you said that got a lot of women upset is the fact that you said women lose their value when they have children.
Yes,
now, I want you to further elaborate, because maybe, like Kanye, you didn't have enough time to explain what you meant. So what does that mean that a woman loses her value if she has a baby?
See, one thing about this, Kendra,
Salute to KS.
I've learned and constantly learn that the weight of my voice has power, more power than I expected. And when I do have intimate conversations with women that are in my life, whether it is the mother of my children, whether it is, the person that I'm with, mother, my father, aunties, my daughters. I just have to do a better job with expressing
Yes.
certain things. And as I have labeled myself, the culture's cousin,
Yes.
yeah, I would say I be tripping sometimes.
I am so happy you said that.
Yeah.
I think if I was one of your children's moms,
Of course, you will like that, Kendra.
I would have been very offended. If I was one of your kids to your children's moms, I would have been very offended. And I want to say this. When I came in here, I mean, I met you before in the past. You have great energy. Like, I don't think you have ill will intentions. So I love that you could sit back and say, maybe that wasn't correct.
And I get the opportunity to work alongside, as you met my team, majority of them on the Funky Friday side are women. I believe in accountability. So specifically, when I have conversations with the John A's of the world, with the Latras of the world, and they speak to me, it's always respectful, but it's to say like, hey, tell me what you're trying to say, and maybe I can give you advice or counsel you to say certain things. I have been able to look back at my situation and say, hey, some of the things that I have said just set us back, bro. Like, man, I love my sisters, man. I'm growing, I'm raising, beautiful black queens myself. And it's not a hit to any other cultures, creeds, ethnicity groups, but all I know first, or what I knew first, was black. And I'm just trying to do right by my people.
I love that. Do you retract the statement that a woman loses value when she has kids?
I apologize to the mother of my children. I have 3 of them. And just knowing that I have to do better. I apologize to any person that took offense to that, especially the black queens. Or women in general, because I think oftentimes it is hard for people to say I messed up, and to be in a situation where I never meant intent, or I had never had intent to harm, to suppress, or anything else like that.
It was the word value.
Yes.
Because, see, value, and this is why this conversation is so emotional online, because, women are saying, you got to make 100K. So if a man doesn't make 100K, he says something like, oh, you trying to say I'm worthless because I don't make 100K? So it's like, that's the emotional part of it. Yeah. We could take the word value out and put preference. Now, that's fair. I host a dating show. Men call in and they will say, I do not want a woman with children, right? I've heard that time and time again. I've actually heard it a lot. So I think that a person's value and worth is not attached to the relationship status. And if we can look at it as this is a person's preference, which I think everyone can relate to because everyone has a preference. Women call in, they tell me he got to be 6 feet. He got to make 100K just to get through the door. So with that being said, a man has the right to his preference. So what happens is a lot of times I'll get men who don't have children and they're on the pursuit to start their family, and they will say vocally, I don't want to raise somebody else's children. I want to start my own family. So I will support it in the preference category.
What I found myself in a situation that I should preface as well too. My experiences and the people that I've been around.
Right.
That's what I'm speaking off of. And the reality of it, when you do have conversations with said individuals that have counseled me, male and female, woman and man, I'm often reminded, like, Cam, bro, what you've experienced, not a lot of people have or will ever. So preface that. Right. The men that you've been around, hey, what you've experienced, that's typically the situation. Right. But in regards to that question, I should not have even put myself in a position to make people or women feel lesser than. Before we get out of here, there's a lot of similarities or comparables to, comparing you to the late Kevin Samuels. What's right or wrong with his criticisms of men and women?
Stop. We are not about to compare Kendra to Kevin Samuels. I will not have that blasphemy anywhere near me.
Or women.
The thing that, I got to be honest, I did do a show one time.
Yeah.
And then that's where me, throughout my experiences of what I've seen, that's what get people every single time. That's not the man, or that's not the woman for me. And I had my partner, I'm like, bro, no, I don't want to talk to her. Why you want to talk to her? Man, she don't look that good. And I then reiterated and say, what you think she see? Bro, you in some brogans, some old fear of gods. Like, you're not your best version of yourself right now, bro. So you're looking at an expectation of a woman to be fine and dandy, but you also got to see what she sees too.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of unrealistic, delusional people, and I'm speaking for the men. I'm like, dude, you ain't peak, and you won't peak. Or you know what comes with this type of woman. So when she says, hey, I need $50,000 to keep my lifestyle up, she's right.
For that woman.
And if you're not willing to pay it, guess what? Somebody is. So you can't say, oh man, she lame as hell for that. Listen, bro, she would not have said it, or she would not have acted if somebody wasn't willing to do it.
Exactly.
She's saying, like, listen, I'm not no average, or this is what I'm expecting. So either you can provide it or step aside. And dare I speak about women on this? I only can speak about dudes, and dudes can get delusional to the degree where it's like, bro, my boy, come on, dog. Like, there's no way you can shoot your shot at this caliber chick. I see what she see, and I'm straight as ever. But I'm realistic too. I'm gonna take accountability. And I think oftentimes in relationships, people are not realistic. I oftentimes use that same kind of reality. I'm very big in the youth space. I'm very big in giving back my time, the most expensive thing to impacting kids' careers by using football. The thing that I always see high school kids do with their parents is go to an unrealistic school. It's like Georgia, University of Florida, Florida State, Auburn, Alabama, LSU.
This is a sports
This is a sports
Okay,
analogy.
so I'm gonna be lost here, but I'm following.
I can make it make sense for you. These are major Power 4 universities where their budgets exceed 7-8 figures, right? If not more. You're not qualified as the look test to be a typical athlete that will represent that college or university. So why even waste your time? Oh, well, God got to call it. Okay, first off, don't play with my God. All right. And just being realistic, you don't pass the metrics test that most coaches go by. You're 5'8". All right. You're not as fast as you could possibly be that other people have ran before. And they oftentimes use examples. Well, Tyreek Hill ain't that tall. You're not Tyreek Hill. And then now doing that into a relationship, given the comparable, it's like you're not what that person is used to. And understanding that person has experiences that you may not match.
Right.
It doesn't make that person bad. It doesn't make you lesser than. It's just to say, hey, let's try to compare the two. And I'm just specifically talking to my men because it goes both ways. Just women do have expectations. They have preferences, and I love a round of spades and a cigar smoking, that fellowship. And there's men that are single that's looking for a woman, and we do have a good mix of different dynamics of people that come through the establishment. And I'm like, who piques your interest? And I'm like, bro, the same girl that you pointed at, 6 other men have already pointed at her.
Right.
It's a competition in surface level form. You may not be able to compete, bro. And that's not to say she lame. It's just to say you got to step your game up.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So in reality of relationships, when I pointed to it and say like that's the issue, is because a lot of people are expecting better than what they truly are.
Yes, I agree. I feel like on both accords, and I think I'm happy you use a man's
Good morning,
point of view in that
18. Good
statement, because
morning.
every time when that example is given, it's always given in the woman's point of view in that statement, that the woman wants the guy. I think that what's going on right now is because of social media, we're all in everybody's business. We're in different worlds that we're not in real life, right? So just because you're in the comment section doesn't mean you're in that world in the real life. And I want to speak from a black woman, a dark-skinned black woman. They don't want us to dream big, right? Take what you're given and you should be happy. And we're tired, and I'm doing all that I can to break that narrative. That's why I'm happy you said. That's why I joined the tech space, because I'm tired of, I'm not waiting for the man to provide me with the lifestyle. I'll go provide it for myself, and I would be very happy to do so. And I meet incredible men along the way. I tell my age all the time, because to me that's very important. As a 46-year-old woman, yes, there's men still outside. Yes, it's not over. Don't believe what the world is trying to tell you, because they're living by the old rules. And I feel as though I would just encourage all people, figure it out for yourself, become the best version of yourself, and then you can attract the best version.
I have to do better with representing women as a whole, and I will.
Right.
And this is a step towards that. And I just find it that's where I got to get better in 2026. It's like, I know it's not going to take, just voila, here we are.
Right.
But it's going to take time. I ask for grace. I ask for patience, knowing that my specific situations that I've been experienced too, not a lot of people have went through it. And for the people who have went through it, that's their specific situation. And, that's where we are. It's like, I came with a lot of baggage.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked you in this. I really liked my experience with you. Yes, people, like you said, hey, get them. That's not my spirit. I like to have conversations to get a better perspective. In a woman's seat, it's one of the reasons why I don't have children if I couldn't marry the guy. Because it's so tough. The baby's forever, right? The baby's forever no matter what. Yeah. And to watch a guy that you potentially have a child with, because men get the grace to learn better. Like, okay, this didn't work for us, right? And now I'm going to move on, and now I found someone that works for me. But then it's like, women can't always move as easy, right? They don't have the opportunity to move as easy when they have the children, because now the new guy's gonna be like, oh, okay, how many kids? Oh, so it's like, and then now, and it's like, you're happy because you evolved and you met someone else. Yeah. So I think there needs to be a compassion for women when I say things like, no, I'm not, like, don't do situationship, because you might get caught up in something that might not be to your benefit. You have all the power right now before you have sex. Find out everything you can. Learn the person. And if you still want to rock with them after you learn them, do your thing, girlfriend. Don't complain, though, if it's something that you thought you didn't want to expect, because I do believe this. One thing I do respect about you is you are who you are at the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not lying. It's all on the table. Do you want to participate or not? And I think that if people are honest with themselves, because I even feel like with red flags, if everybody, women in particular, before it grows into something massive, there's always a sign early that you might have ignored or might have said, oh, this ain't that bad. And then you go on the next ride. And now you in Six Flags, honey. So I think self-accountability, yes, like, we talk about red flags. Sometimes you in Six Flags with all the rides, eating a cotton candy, passing funnel cake, all of it. But you had an opportunity to leave after ride number 1 and you didn't. So I think another thing that will help is if you see a red flag, retreat. That's what helps me. Like, now I know myself.
What are red flags?
Anything that doesn't go along with what you want. What's a red flag? Literally, I'm trying to tell you, because I can say a red flag for me is you want to date other women. That's not a red flag for some women. Some women are very much fine with that. Like, that doesn't bother me.
Okay, so I love where we at.
Yeah.
What's your non-negotiables?
Non-negotiable is I got to be able to trust you. I'm in this public figure space.
No.
You talking about non-negotiables?
Yeah, you're talking about for you. I'm talking about for the man that you attract?
I don't like goofies. Okay, and sometimes the number one accessory for a goofy is money. This is why I don't subscribe to high value, because a man can have a lot of money, all the things, but still at the core be a goofy, has no substance, not about anything really, and he's covering up with all the accessories. I don't like men who don't respect women and don't respect women in a manner in which, outside of just having kids and just what they can do for them physically. I don't like liars. You know, don't tell me the truth. Give me the opportunity to make the decision. I'd rather you tell me the truth, and if it doesn't work for me, I can respect that, opposed to you presenting a fantasy, and now I'm in love with a fantasy, right? But I go back to trust. Like, if I can't trust you, that's big for me now. I don't want, like, my next relationship will not have a social media presence. You know, as I'm growing in what I do in a public figure, girls have groupies too. You know, there's guys that want to be a part of motion. And it's like, yo, like, if I date Kendra G, this can help my career. When I was dating, I dated a lot last year. In the first date, I can tell we're not going to have a second date. And in the first date, I knew we wasn't going to have a second date because one thing he said to me was very goofy. And I was like, yeah, I'm not having no more. Then my next relationship, I'm not posting it on social media. He's like, oh, man, that your last guy ruined it for everybody. I said, what are you talking about? You could be very committed. I love the way Issa Rae does it. I love the way Kerry Washington do it. They're both married women. Their social media presence is about their business. Then he literally said to me, but what if we have a child and the YouTube money page could go to the child? You're a goofy if you think I'm going to have a joint YouTube page with you and it's going to support. No, you're trying to build clout for your brand. I'm not the one. Okay, if you want to hire me as an influencer for something.
Bye, Kendra. Bye. You ain't that big of a deal, darling. I am so sick of this bird thinking that she's better than what she actually is. You're not. You're a bird that got lucky.
Cut a check, sure, but I'm not having a social media fake life. That's goofy to me. So I'm allergic to goofies.
So, yeah, but there's the question of non-negotiables for you is not a real accurate kind of depiction of a guy. A goofy is like.
Well, I don't have no, but see, I don't have an aesthetic requirement.
Okay.
So I don't have it. You don't have to be.
No. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm talking about morally.
Oh,
it's
morally.
like, you know, what's your non-negotiables morally? Like, could you come into a situation where he has somebody else? Is that something that you're not willing to do?
What do you mean, like he has another girlfriend?
Yes, correct.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm
so
not.
that's what I would have.
That's why when you said earlier, I'm not number two.
That's cool.
Like I'm not number two. I'm one and only. And if you got a number two somewhere else, you better be the Denzel Washington acting, and I don't need to find out about it. Like I can't.
But you want him
that.
to be honest though.
Then that's be honest, so I can say I wish you the best and leave.
Like you say, you better be like Denzel Washington.
Well, I'm like, yeah. What I was saying in hindsight is, if there's a number two, I don't know about it, and once I know about it, I gotta go.
Okay. Now I got this question from.
Okay, this is truly the litter box of the future. I didn't think the litter robot could get any better, but I am.
See what we have.
The male group chat, right?
What
And
these Negroes want.
who gets the most grace? Please listen.
I got you.
Please listen.
I got you.
And I want to hear from
Okay.
a woman's
Point of view.
point of view. Who gets the most grace? If a black man dates outside of his race versus a black woman dating outside her race.
The
who
black
gets the most
woman
grace?
gets the
Okay.
grace. The black woman gets the grace, Cam. Oh, if a black man dates outside of his race, the black woman, black women in particular, will treat that black man like he's a traitor. But yet, if a black woman dates outside of her race, they'll clap for it, they'll cheer for it, all that. Because even though black women ain't gonna admit it, black women feel like they have an ownership over black men. Here's a news flash: black women do not have ownership over black men, just like black men do not have ownership over black women. People should be able to go to where they celebrate it. Now, here's the thing. Most black men are race loyal, according to USA Today. But the thing of not just black men, but men, period, men are going to go to where they are celebrated. And that's just science.
Grace.
Okay, the black woman gets the most grace.
Explain.
Because so first I'm gonna answer and then I'm gonna give my
Okay.
personal thoughts about
Listen.
that.
I'm surprised Kendra G admitted the truth.
Black women get outside the most grace because of numbers. See, the thing is this: black men, you guys have numbers in your favor. There's so much quantity for y'all to choose from, right? Women cannot say the same. Although I will not I have learned, and I'm going to give the full story. I can't date a non-black man. It just doesn't work for me. I can't do it, but I do support it from the numbers component because there's so many black women that want to be in relationships with a certain type of guy, and there's just not an equal amount of that man, right? So if there's black women that are like, I don't care, he has to make a certain amount of money, you must open up your pool to non-black men because that's the only way you're going to have more options of meeting a guy in that caliber. I think where we feel as black women at times, and at the end of the day, like who you love. Spend life with whoever you want to spend life with. But there's a plethora of black women that black men can choose. And when we see successful black men with non-black women, again, it's your life. Do as you may because it's your choice. But we see that there's a black woman, family, all of that could have benefited, from the success because you came from a black woman. She wants you from all of the essence that you got from.
Black women came from somewhere else?
No, I'm saying black men. We're talking about the example of, because you asked me the grace. So the point I'm saying is when a black man becomes so successful, when the non-black women want you, they want you from all of the essence that you came from. And if you're a black man, you came from a black woman. Okay? That's where I'm going to.
Coming from the brothers group chat. What you said about the black man isn't what you said about the black woman.
I told you why though.
Yeah, but it wasn't validated.
It is validated. You think the black woman has just as much? Listen, when I have single events, it's always 80% women to men.
For real?
Absolutely. There's always going to be more women to men. Always. And black men know this. So the numbers are in your favor. So if I have a room, if it's 20% men and you have 80% options, you have more options than the woman has. So the only way for her to maybe not leech on or deal with is to expose herself to other options. Now, personally, Kendra G, I can't do it. And I learned last year because I had an opportunity, literally the richest man that has ever tried to court me. And he was not black. And I don't have sex when I date. So we went on a date and I remember the way his job was set up, he was gonna have to go to somewhere in Orange County. And I was gonna make it clear, like, okay, I don't mind coming up, but
Where are you based?
Beverly Hills. So yeah. So so I had so much anxiety. Like I literally had so much anxiety, and I was like, and I do feel this, women, even though women feel like, just because you put me out, you don't got to get none, and that could be true, but communicate that. Like, don't mislead a man. Like, if you put me on something, I'm like, listen, I don't mind having a good time, but it's not going to go past that. You still want me to come? And if not, I understand.
How do you prevent that from happening?
You say that. Like,
but
okay.
this is a real question. Like, and I'm trying to give women game.
Yeah.
To preface that, is it you say it, and what else?
Well, there's some women who are not like me. They're going to just go.
No.
Right.
I'm saying for the women who are like you.
You have the conversation. Communication clears up everything.
Okay.
So even if it's not expected, I don't want you to feel like you got manipulated because you bought my plane ticket, you got the hotel. I'm just going to say out loud, like, listen, I don't mind coming, but I'm going to need a separate hotel room.
Okay.
And after dinner, and if you're fine with that, and if you're not fine with it, I understand, but I just want to make the trip. We all mature here.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but what ended up happening was his schedule changed, so we ended up not going. And I remember I felt so much relief. But then I thought, well, I would have to sleep with this man one day if I'm going to really grow with him. And I can't have sex with a white man. I can't. I've been to Africa. This is personal Kendra G. And I want to say this to all my black women who date outside the race. I support you because I understand it. But in Kendra G's personal manner, I've been to Africa. I've been to Ghana. I've been to the Elmina Castle. And I took the tours. And it's one thing to read about slavery. It's another thing to really, and if you go, you will understand what I'm talking about. You can still feel our ancestors in these caves. And there's a church upstairs while women are being raped. And there's one part in Elmina Castle that it was like the slave masters would be at top. And then the black women would come. And they would pick out which one they wanted to have sex with. And so for me, I can't, like I said,
Unsee that.
I can't unsee that.
Unfeel that.
And the wealth.
It can be hard to change a tire when you don't have the right tools.
Well, it's gonna have to be a part 2. Entitled Robotic. You dig what I'm saying? As we end things here at Funky Friday, first and foremost, Kendra, thank you, dog.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. It was.
Do you respect me more in my space now after our
I
conversation?
never not respected
Okay.
you. I never not.
Well, I felt like you were concerned of if I was able to talk about the things I would talk about.
I just ask questions.
Okay, I got you.
That's it. And these questions come from other people outside of me.
Okay, we're just going to cut off right here. This is the interview of Cam Newton and Kendra G. Oh, Lord, excuse me. And in case y'all wondering, I very, very, very much had this sped up because I knew I couldn't sit here for no 2 hours. Now, this is my take on it. It is what it is. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace. Oh, like, share, subscribe.